Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to Free Assembly, a presentation of the Metropolis Ensemble in partnership with the House of Yes and Le Poisson Rouge. Metropolis Ensemble is a chamber orchestra and ensemble founded in 2006 by Grammy-nominated conductor Andrew Sear. Described by the New York Times as a vibrant collective, Metropolis Ensemble exists to support today's most outstanding ascending contemporary classical performers and composers, often engaging them with other bleeding-edge cultural innovators and artists through its unique collaborative process. And that is exactly what we will all be benefiting from this evening. If you arrived to the show early and you were enjoying the music you were hearing, you should know that that was the second installment of a five-part series commissioned by the Metropolis Ensemble of music composed and performed by Matthew Evan Taylor, entitled The Unheard Mixtape 2, Language of the Unheard, which is out now on New Amsterdam Records and on Bandcamp. Be sure to check it out. We have an astonishing variety of quite beautiful art to share with you tonight, and I think you're going to be blown away. There is a spectrum of responses to the moment and to the modality. Various artists responded in various ways to rising to the occasion of making work collaboratively long distance. And you're going to have the pleasure of getting to meet and hear from nearly all of these artists as we go. But for starters, we're just going to jump right in. So please enjoy Yellow Trace. All right. Please welcome the three creators of that gorgeous work that we just got to experience for the first time. Synthesist Qasim Naqvi, violinist Lauren Cauley, and dancer, choreographer, and am I mistaken, videographer too in this case, Moscelyne ParkeHarrison. I'm terribly curious how much prior work the three of you have done together, if any. And, obviously through the process of making this piece, the synergy is pretty clear. So there was obviously lots of back and forth, lots of going back and forth. But what was the order of operations? What started? What was the germ?
Who wants to start?
Well, I guess the first question is we haven't worked together, so it was really fun to have this be our introduction to each other. And the process was not too much back and forth, which was kind of cool. We had like this initial talk where we talked about inspirations and things that were kind of going to guide our composition of this work, and then we just kind of did it in layers. We started with Qasim, and then I layered my violin part, and then we handed it off to Masi, who made this amazing video.
Yeah, Moscelyne, I mean, in the world of dance, it's not all that uncommon for the accompanimental music to be pre-recorded and something that is, if the performers and the musicians are lucky, they get to be there and perform along. But there's certainly plenty of precedent for playing with pre-recorded music. But maybe I was projecting, but I felt like there was a poignant element of this that was specific to now that I was just struck with. My goodness, she's the only body in the room. And I'm curious if you all felt that and how that colored the work, if at all.
Hmm. Why don't you go, Masi?
Weird because I felt very connected to you all, even though I've never met you. Even just from our conversation, I was left with little sparks of inspiration, but a whole lot of mystery as to what the music was going to sound like. So as I was creating some of the movement, I hadn't heard any of the music yet, and it was really nice to see how those things aligned and informed each other as a sort of trajectory when things fell together in the end. And also during this, we talked about the color yellow at the very beginning. And so I started obsessively noticing all these yellow spaces around me. So I felt like that was also sort of like a through line, bringing a visual sense as well to the musical aspects.
And I think with the sound too, the color yellow, I think Lauren and I tried to kind of sonify that color in some way, with the synthesizer at least, thinking about different kinds of filters and things to kind of degrade the sound a little bit to kind of give it that whatever that hue of yellow is.
Yeah, and I would say it definitely hangs together. Thank you all so much. We could talk about this all night, and I wish we could, but we got to talk to everyone, and we have many, many more works yet to share. So let's please welcome Yoon and Shayna Dunkelman, because the piece we're about to see, in stark contrast, we've got two bodies in a room together, and if I am not mistaken, the two of you have some pre-existing history together as collaborators, right? I mean, I'll confess I was a little jealous when I saw this. Like, they're in the same room, no fair. I haven't seen my collaborators for 8 months now. So where did this come from, and how did this grow out of the work that the two of you have done together in the past?
You are always in my heart, Kyle. So yes. So Shayna, why don't you take a start?
Well, Diane and I met years ago, but then I started collaborating with her. I think 2.5 years. Is that right? Like I played in some of her pieces, and we play in bands together. And then I had this opportunity at Pioneer Works, which is a sort of an art institution, gallery, music space, all the above in Brooklyn. And I was granted a residency, which was really remarkable considering the circumstances that we were put in, because I was able to work in isolation, pretty quarantined, and like just had a studio to myself with all the sound. And I had this, Duyun was invited by Andrew to do this festival, and then she was just like, oh, like, would you want to do a duo with me? And I know Andrew from other projects. We've collaborated with Emily Wells and Metropolis Ensemble, so it was just like, oh, well, we all know each other. This is great coming together. And so I invited my colleague and friend Yoon to come to my like 1 month quarantine studio to make this music happen, and that's how it happened. Yeah.
And we all get to benefit now from that friendship and that intimacy. So
Yeah,
thank
I
you
just wanted
both.
to add that Shayna was the soloist for my concerto, triple concerto no less, and a bandmate, and so many other more. So you do see the variety of the things that we take shape.
So cool. All right.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
So let's enjoy live performance.
Thank you.
So great.
Hello, everyone. I hope that you're doing well. I am Yoon,
And I'm Shayna Dunkelman.
and we are here to enjoy ourselves playing music together for you, and I hope you like it.
Enjoy.
So in this case, what we have is an excerpt preview of a work that Sandbox Percussion will most assuredly be playing the pants off of in its entirety just as soon as the world stops ending and we're all back to being on stages and in concert halls. But you get to see it first here tonight, and you get to see it more intimately than you possibly could in the hall, right? Everybody gets even better than a front row seat. We have 75% of Sandbox Percussion here with us now, so please welcome Victor Cachese, Johnny Allen, and Terry Sweeney. Gentlemen, what do you have to tell us about what to look forward to for the entirety of Andy Akiho's Pillar in its full glory?
Oh gosh, it's more like what is there not included in the full thing? No, it's really it's going to be about 70 minutes, so an evening length piece, and it's 7 ensemble movements total, and 4 solos total, and so the whole thing will be on stage with lights and with all kinds of other stuff. Yeah, we do have Ian as well. I don't know if he's part of the.
This is what I get. A gallery feed fail. Sorry, I didn't see the 4th.
He's all right.
Up to 100% now.
So excellent, thank you. Well, it's good to meet all 4 of you in that case, and it's really exciting to share this work and to get to see right up front. You know, I've always had percussion envy my whole life as a musician. You guys always get the coolest practice spaces, and how convenient is it that you get to pod with each other? How about that? Congratulations, and we look forward to seeing the full work. All right, all best to you all. And with that, we transition to another modality, another response entirely. We get a quartet for 2 humans. Just about to witness the premiere of Jen Shyu and Keita Ogawa, We Walk with the Wind, Ode to John Lewis.
Lo salamar Melanai kulamadaya Melo Lama Aku coba Santai aja while my time has now come to an end. Lord, I want you to know that in the last days and hours of my life, you inspired. You filled me with hope about the next chapter of the great American story. When you used your power to make a difference in our society, millions of people motivated simply by human compassion, laid down the burdens of division. Around the country and the world, you set aside race, class, age, language, and nationality to demand respect for human dignity. Constrained us like an imaginary prison, troubling thoughts of the I was searching for a way out, so it's a way into another. No, and then I heard the voice of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. on an old radio. He was talking about philosophy and discipline of nonviolence. He said we are all complicit when we tolerate injustice. He said it is not enough to say it will get better by and by. He said each of us has a moral obligation to stand up, speak up, and speak out. When you see something that is not right, you must say something, you must do something. Democracy is not a state, it is an act, and each generation must do its part to help build what we call the beloved community, a nation and world society. Please know I'm here with you. I urge you to answer the highest calling of your heart and stand up for what you truly believe. In my life I have done all I can to demonstrate look is the more excellent way. Now it is your turn to let freedom live here. Sungai stream batu air putih. Let them say it was your generation who laid down the heavy burdens of hate at night, and that peace finally triumphed over violence, aggression, or so I say to you, walk with the wind, brothers and sisters, and let the spirit of peace and the power of everlasting be your guide, be your
All right. So if you're hearing me speak this very moment, you have persevered and stuck with us. Bravo and thank you for that. We are continuing to work out some kinks, but as far as I know, everything should be able to continue along according to our initial plan now. Up next, we have another work. A work called Soft Encounters. And we have two of the artists, two of the creators involved right here with us, Ganavia Doraiswamy and Darian Thomas. Let's see if we can get them. Oh, here we go. There's one, and there's two beautiful faces. It's such an honor to meet you both. All right, so there's more at the table in this work, right? If I'm not mistaken, there is not one but two poets. There's movement. There's some very astonishingly creative video editing going on. What have you done? What did you do? What can you tell us about the process of what went on in what order and to what end?
Nadia, would you like to go first?
Sure. I think my end of the story is relatively brief. Darian already knows this, but basically I was listening to disco and for the first time in my life it made sense. So I just started dancing like crazy and then danced my way onto glass. This is to say I wasn't walking for 6 weeks. And the first thing I did actually after getting up was to try and sing for this. And the second thing that comes to mind is that what to me is different about this kind of virtual performance is there's not necessarily the presence of the audience where I'm able to look at where a being is reacting to what we're doing. So what I did is I asked my colleague and best friend, dear friend Rajna Swaminathan to write a reaction to what Darian had already made. And that was the poem that I ended up singing to kind of weave in the presence of others. But if you see anything and you're moved by it, that is all because of Darian, because I really was unable to move and it felt like Darian really was there to hold me, pick me up and say, we're gonna walk together.
Beautiful. Darian, does that match your experience? Is she giving you too much credit? Just about it all there?
I mean, it was just, we had one conversation of our collaboration and it ended up being maybe like an hour long. And it was just very nice, loving, peaceful. I think we felt that we could trust each other immediately and that we would be able to make something really beautiful together. And so then as time progressed and as things became more difficult on both sides, I kind of just figured that I wanted to make something that towards the beginning, we wanted to make a space for healing and for empowerment. And to do that while Navia was healing made a lot of sense to me. So I did outsource some things. I asked my friend Liana Kleinman, who's over in London now, if she could send me footage very quickly, and she sent it to me in a day. And then I just started putting everything together, piecing together as many images as I could. Because I don't know, by that point I knew that we weren't going to get a video of us just playing the thing live. And I also knew that I didn't want that we could make something better. So I put together this film.
And that's the joy of it, isn't it? When we're able to use this surreal moment to do something that is not just a replacement for what we wish we could be doing, but something that we couldn't realize through other means. And I think that comfort and that trust really rings true. So thank you both so very much. Let's heal, shall we? I think we could use a little of that right now. Let's watch Soft Encounter, and please know that this will be back to back with another work featuring Kweku Sumbri, Paul Wianko, and Ayane Kozasa, and we will speak to the three of them after that piece is aired. All right, Soft Encounter.
Dancing Rachna wrote, "The sheen of a single feather in its complex design. These are the units of flight. These are the units of flight. There's bittersweet sensation in remembering pasts and the futures. There's bittersweet sensation in remembering pasts and the futures. Vapor sealed in the present. Occasional vertigo, but then you realize everything is made up of light. Everything is made up of light. Everything is made up of light, of sun, of moon, of heart, of hope, twisted into a DNA strand. Life-giving and nourishing. Bird calls sustain the rhythm of our existence. They remind us we live in a world breathed into life by ancient, omniscient trees. Picture yourself in a dense, spacious rainforest. Mist is all pervading. You are a fish swimming through an infinite Darian Thomas, September 1st, 2020. Guinevere writes, soft encounters. With your soft contours, the thoughts that spring from your furrowed brow. Warrior Princess, I wanna ask, how did you protect your softness through? Once I tried to carry back a leaf with the dew. To show my mother that such beauty exists. I see a soft, curved wood gracing your arm. I once had that bracelet too. When I used to live deep in the Green Mountains, someone brought me to a temple. So once I tried to carry back this leaf with dew to show my mother that such beauty exists. I didn't find a way to save the dew, try to convince myself that Mama already knew. Such beauty exists. Maybe soft rains will come onto plants I already house. I can show Mama what a dew in a leaf cup looks like. Stars in the mountain. Freedom. 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 Love. Sensuous and the sensible, all living in the same house. Teaching each other. Until then, I have these soft encounters with your already soft encounters. In sound we meet. sound we love.
Go. Pay attention, go. Go, 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 go. Turn, 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 turn.
All right. We are having an all-star party here behind the curtain, backstage in the Zoom room. But for the time being, we are here to speak to Paul Wianco, Ayani Kozasa, and Kweku Sombri, the three creators of this gorgeous piece that we just saw. Welcome to the three of you. Thank you for joining us. I suspect that our viewers are curious about the collaborative process that took place here. I'm gathering, I mean, it's fairly clear, it's a matter of public record that at least the two of you have some background collaborating with each other now and then. But as a trio, how did this go on? What was the order of operations for the creation of Sooner and Later?
Hey, Kweku.
What's up, Paul? Hey, Ayani.
This is how we met, was this project. Emmanuel Wilkins connected us and said Kweku's a fantastic composer, percussionist, artist, mashed us together. Kweku, it's amazing to see the intimacy there in this video of you and your daughter. It blows my mind every time I see it. It's so beautiful.
Thank you.
I can't. Please go ahead.
We, like Paul said, this is how we started, right on Zoom, and then from there we just went to we had one Zoom conference where we kind of tried to, figure out some stuff, and I play percussion, I play djembe and a whole array of other percussion instruments and drums, so I pretty much laid down some drums and wrote out some string lines, and I sent it over to Paul and Ayane, and they sent it back to me. That's kind of how it came about, and yeah.
Paul and Ayani, had you seen any of the video component while you were working on the music, or was that a pleasant surprise after the fact?
No, that was a discussion that we had after the fact. My goal when kind of orchestrating Kweku's piece was to just try to bring as much richness and depth to it as possible to match his incredible percussion.
It works so beautifully. I don't know if you two, if either of you have children. I couldn't watch that the first time and not weep. My daughter is now 12. So thank you for bringing us something so gorgeous and so real in a moment that we are all remembering what we're grateful to still have in our lives while we don't necessarily have our collaborators in the same room with each other.
Right.
So always look forward. Thank you. And we are going to transition now because we have another gigantic piece to introduce. So we're about to meet Paula Matheson. We'll see Lauren Cauley again, as you were on the call earlier. Jackie Carrot and Ian Rosenbaum for the imminent re-premiere of Between the Smell of Dust and Midnight. Am I right? Paula, this piece has a long history with Metropolis Ensemble, right? We have an entirely new iteration here to share. Can you tell us about that history, that process?
Happily, and it's so nice to see everyone after listening to it so much. The piece was originally premiered in 2015 at the Phillips Collection in DC, and it was all over the space and had pieces in it by Jakob Chipinski, sorry I mispronounced that, and around too. And it was such a wonderful event. And Ian and Jackie were part of that, and it was so great to revisit the piece with them again. And Lauren, thank you so much too. It was so wonderful. Coming back together. And so we made this then into kind of a video event too, now that we're all in sort of disparate spaces. And so the video is sort of a compilation of people looking outside their windows and making videos from that, now that we're all sort of kind of grounded in our different spaces. And instead of looking into space, which happens so often with Zoom, now it's sort of like, okay, let's turn that around. And what are we seeing outside? Because like this is the first time I've really gone through, myself at least too, seeing a whole season, go by out the same windows. And I feel grateful for that. But I was wondering what it looked like for everyone else too. And now if I see any of your house plants, I think I'm going to freak out and jump up and down at my hands. So, yeah.
So Ian and Jackie, from the perspective of the performers, how does it feel to live with a piece this long and to have it turned around and refracted like this?
I can say for myself that it was really wonderful to revisit the piece. I think it's an incredibly delicate piece and so well written for the instrument. And I have to say I really like the fact that I could just record this at home and not have to move my harp. So there's an upside.
Yeah, I completely agree. I was so excited when Andrew told me that they were bringing this piece back, because it's a gorgeous piece, and it was so much fun to play it again.
Yeah.
We all get to enjoy it now, so get comfy with those houseplants. Thank you all so much. So now for the re-premiere, or the premiere of this version of Between the Smell of Dust and Midnight. have yet to address directly tonight the provenance of these beautiful bursts of animation and music that you've been hearing between the larger works. But there they are. They are all of a piece. This is the 11th commission, the 11th collaboration of the evening. And now we have the pleasure of meeting the folks responsible for that, animator Marie Levy and the musical duo of Catherine Kyu-hyun Lim and Joey Chang. Okay, so I see two names on one Zoom screen. I see two bodies on one couch. Isn't it a blessing when the collaborative partners also have the the benefit of being quarantine pods with each other? So what can you how has life been? How has life been as two musicians making music together?
It's actually been amazing. First of all, I am so blessed to be quarantined with someone who actually plays another instrument, and we can play a lot of music together.
Yeah.
And we're also improvisers, so that makes it even more fun.
Yeah.
Excellent. And Marie, what was the process? What was the order of operations? Did music come first and then animation, vice versa, a little both?
So I think first Catherine and Joey sent me some like audios like of what they do, and yeah, it definitely inspired me. And then I started to have this idea, like story behind like for an animation. So I started with this, and then I sent it to them, and they came up with the music, with the beautiful music they did.
So there's very much a back and forth process here, and remarkable too. Just speaking as an improviser, having something with such a flow chopped up into discrete chunks like that. Am I correct in suggesting that things were edited and chosen and post composed, or did you actually improvise 15-second bursts?
I think we improvised 15-second bursts. It was very interesting to be like, we have to do something in very short amount of time, and we did that with especially with Marie's help. I think the animations are so cool. It's amazing to be able to use that as an inspiration basis. Thank you, Marie. So
no, thank you guys. Yeah, it really was like a blessing to working with you. So yeah.
All right, beautiful. Thank the three of you. Thank you, all three of you, so very much. We have a couple of more of these to enjoy before the night is out. But now we are going to watch The Game, a collaboration between Charmaine Lee and Nappy Nina, and we'll speak to the two of them shortly after that is finished.
Wow.
Whisper to bring me to center, into the embers and leave me so somber this winter. Soberly seeing bodies bloody and black and bankrupt of breath. Blue badge theft. Imagine the imagination we could all have left. Installments are free for alls, for all folks who are free. Are you included? What do you see? I see compete. I see compost. I see fluids and soil promising growth. Promises post like eggs on brunch folks' toast. You are not what you boast. You are what you bother to bring. I am not preaching from dinners of peach rings and wilted greens. There's something in the water. There's something in the water, we know that for fact from Flint. There's something in the water, we know that for fact from Flint. I'm wanting. There's something in the water I'm wanting that's been waving to me. There's something waving to me, waiting for me to wade to it. Wallow in hollow hands. Help myself from being held down in the deep where the dark is dank, daintily dainting. The Bucks said they wasn't gonna shoot tonight. The Bucks said they would not be your Bucks for highlights tonight. The Bucks said they would not be bouncing balls and banking buckets because of bullet ballads, but yet someone will come to blame them, and then game will go on. The game already went on. The game already went on. The game already went on. You see, the two-step is intuitive. Loosen it if you fluid. Then chewing ain't new. Like news to swing when the wind blew. Hard on igloo. Go caught and get through. Push me something light through the night. Spark a big dude. These big dudes can't market me right. These big dudes can't market me right. These big dudes can't market me right. I'm market price. But I mark on my life. Like Mark McGuire can't acquire through strikes. You should talk to me nice. You should talk to me nice. You should talk to me nice. When you talk to me less. Sorry for static. Trying to get the thoughts off my chest. Sorry for static. The show will start in states of static. Static it's never stop, no show. Static never stop, no show. Until it will be a tale. The two-tone home I've known. Gave me backbone. Relayed in bad poems. Rhythm for cynicism. Cycles for the liable. Diets for the diable. The two-tone home unknown. Gave me backbone. Relayed in bad poems. Rhythm for cynicism. Cycles for the liable. Diets for the diable. Seems like my tribe is always on trial though. Without a day in court. Quartered by the cowardly countrymen coy with their cutoffs. Cut me off. Turn my mic down. Cut me off. Turn my mic down. The reverberation of murder nations is too loud. The reverberation of murder nations is too loud. Breathe. 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 Breathe with me. Breathe big like breath. Breathe big like break in water. Breathe wave. Say hello to wonder. Breath brave. Flow. Disobedience. Willow civil unrest. Rush yourself. Cup your hands in bigger plans. Rested eyes in bigger lens. Smaller lands. Hollow and bothered by man. Find beauty in beds of green. Rest heads and rest hearts. Put yourself at ease. Health on release. Reload. Recyclical clinical woes. Refold. Refurbish. Refinance. Repurpose. Reword it. Be worth it. Reword it. Be worth it. Be worthy. It's not a matter of mattering. It's not a matter of mattering. It's not a matter of mattering. My mother is a master of molding. Made me to manifest. Move me to mold away. Move me to move away. Mold me to move away. I move to move my folks away. Flee flagrantly. Follow flocks of flying families who know what we don't. Follow flocks of flying families who know what we don't. Know what we don't.
Okay, so here we have two bodies in two rooms, two very different deployments of the voice and intimacy, layered in a most effective and harrowing manner. Please welcome Charmaine Lee and Nappy Nina. What can the two of you share with us about how this came together? What was the process?
Well, thanks for having us. Emmanuel put us together. So thanks to Emmanuel, firstly. I was really excited for this combination. I really enjoy Nina's approach and style, and I was really looking forward to working with her. It's definitely an uncommon combination, but of course, you know, there are examples of artists working in rap and noise intersecting, bands like Clipping and Death Grips, but we wanted to try something a little different. And instead of the classic musical format of a metric pulse with a sort of abstract noise layer on top, we wanted to try something in which we would be alluding to pulse as opposed to applying a kind of literal grid. So I asked Nina for her favorite BPM or tempo, and she said 80, which is obviously a great tempo. And I just listened to that for a long time and then improvised. And then Nina responded to that, and I think it resulted in something quite collaborative. Nina sort of pushing and pulling inside the spaces, using alliteration and repetition to intertwine and roll through the phrasing. And I think it created something quite beautiful and fresh to my ears. Nina, what do you think?
I mean, I think you got that question. That was pretty much, yeah, that was pretty much the process. But I think that working with Charmaine was both challenging and easy for me in ways. You know, I think I'm a rapper who kind of looks for beats and sounds and things that don't necessarily always fit into the structure in hip hop in which we're used to. So that was familiar to me, but Charmaine was able to create sounds and things and noises and patterns that weren't familiar to me and gave me a bit of a challenge to rap and actually have to slow down and actually really take my time with the flow.
And I think we've got a new genre now that a lot of us were waiting for, even if we didn't realize we were. So thank you both so much for that brave and bold and beautiful, fierce work. And we are nearing the final lap of our evening here. We have two more major works to share. Please welcome Vijay Iyer to the Zoom party here. Looking for the transition. All right. Okay. So for our final two works, we have some incredibly powerful, influential figures in creative music. Yeah, you can take that. Not just as creators and artists, but as pedagogues, people who are responding to the moment on multiple fronts and changing the way that music education is being envisioned. And first off, we have Vijay Iyer. Welcome. What can you tell us about Inflection Point, the piano piece that we're about to witness?
Oh, it's kind of hard to talk about it, but I guess over these months I've been doing a kind of, I guess what I'd call it sort of the musical equivalent of like automatic writing. So I'd just sort of start playing and treat it like its own thing, you know, without really, I think a lot of us who are kind of not only music makers, but also in the music business, often start, like we get infected with this idea of like, what's this for, you know? And making music where it wasn't really for anything, you know, except for itself, gave me a bit of a different standpoint from which to create, you know. It wasn't about the future. It was somehow like some kind of way of receiving and releasing something about the present. And so I guess I sort of treated it like I'm trying to be some kind of satellite dish or something. And also I noticed that like there's a certain mode of music making that I engage in settings like that I don't fully understand myself, you know. So there's like, and that's kind of like the idea with those you know, when writers do something similar, which is like trying to dredge up something from within that you can't otherwise access, you know. And of course, like as people who make music in real time, you know, we're often doing that. But I guess to sort of focus on what I'm not yet focused on, you know, trying to like understand that there's some logic or sense or some kind of like underlying system that I'm following that I don't actually know, but that some of that seems to me to have something to do with the present moment, with the moment we're in, with all the forces around us, sort of the implosion of different systems that, you know, I don't need to explain it, but basically like the, you know, the overwhelming train wreck that is 2020.
Yeah. As we all continue to claw for silver linings in the midst of all this, you know, as artists, this is this is among them, right? The moment, the space to reflect, to sketch, to create, and to play with that bizarre process, that bizarre mindset of I am performing, but I am performing from within the center of my own intimacy, my own living room, right here. Maybe someone will view this, maybe not. Well, thank you. Thank you. Sorry, you're gonna.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, I think like, all of us are making these kind of what seem like provisional works, as if like this is maybe just for now we're doing this kind of stuff, but maybe we also have to reimagine the world we might return to after this. So whatever this is and whatever the after is, like maybe it will contain more of what we're doing now. So thanks for actually like convening all of this, because it gives us a sense of maybe a different possibility for the future.
Hence the title, Inflection Point. All right, so everyone please enjoy Inflection Point. And then shortly thereafter, we will hear from Wadada Leo Smith, Ambrose Akinwuzue, and well, the string players are all here in the house too, so we'll get to talk to them shortly. Thank you, Vijay. Please welcome the cast for our final work of the evening. The co-composers Wadadlio Smith and Ambrose Akinmusiri, along with, oh my goodness, we have the all-star string trio as well. Mariel Roberts, Lauren Cauley once more, and Colin Brooks. Welcome all. We've got a full room here, so maybe we start with the co-composers. Gentlemen, what do we need to know in advance about Battered Prophets for John Lewis? This is our second work of the evening dedicated to John Lewis, and not a moment too soon.
Master Wadada? So yeah, Erica asked me to be a part of this festival, and the first thing that jumped into my mind was somehow collaborating with Mr. Wadadlio Smith. He's one of my heroes, and I know that Erica plays with him, and I didn't anticipate him saying yes, but he agreed to do it, and yeah, we kind of took it off from there.
Yeah, it was an easy choice.
Wow, man, I appreciate that.
We got extremely lucky. We got really a great string quartet. I love those players. They're really fantastic. So it was an easy choice. Music came out and we made it.
Have a rather rather intricately produced video to share now. So for the string players, what can you tell us about what was this process like? There's were you in the same room with each other? Did you have that blessing, or the superimpositions make it a little bit dizzying, a little hard to figure out what's going on?
We did decide that it would be easier to all be in the same room together. So luckily we were able to do that. We stayed pretty far apart, but we decided we wanted that to be able to feed off of each other's energy and make timing choices and content choices based on what other people were playing. So we ended up playing all together in the same room.
Was a big blessing, yeah.
What did you say?
It was a big blessing.
But Lauren, you had two jobs, right? You played violin.
Yeah, I played both the violin parts, which was amazing and so fun. So we recorded as a trio and did all of our improv together. And then I listened to us and played along with us after everyone left, which was really amazing. But yeah, seeing everyone in the same room was just a totally different experience. And this was really fun.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for doing it. It really, like as Wadada said, it sounds so beautiful, and I feel honored that you guys put so much time and energy into it. So thank you.
Thank you.
We haven't heard your parts yet. We're looking forward to hearing your parts of this piece.
Oh.
Yeah.
True premiere.
We are all on site for the world premiere now. So, all right. So everyone, thank you all so much. Thank you for this beautiful, powerful work. And let us all enjoy the premiere of Battered Prophets for John Lewis. And with that, we begin to roll our credits by introducing at last the Ghost in the Machine, the curatorial team here. My name's Kyle Bruckman. I've been really grateful and honored to be able to function as your MC, your Minister of Contextualization for the evening. But the folks who pulled the strings and made this all happen are Andrew Sear, Ryan Francis, Emmanuel Wilkins, Erica Dohi, and Daniel Anastasio. Welcome back. Look what you've done. What do you have to say for yourselves? Is this all we dreamed? You know, tech crash aside, we got back on. The audience came back. The work, right? The collaboration, the responding to the moment, the enabling artists to work and create and share. Bravo. What's
Thank you,
turned
Kyle.
out? Yeah, I'm curious. Did you all have pet projects? I mean, what was the collaborative process like here? How many of you had, we've got to have these people. These people are going to, how were the group put together? I suppose that would be something the audience would like to know.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of, and the main thing is that we work really well together, and we didn't know that until we started this process. So there is like a trust element there that kind of happened pretty quickly, where, of course, you want a balance of, we all know artists that we love that we want on it. That's number one. But that doesn't necessarily make a great program by itself, just having great artists. And especially if you need to pair them with other people, these are strong-minded, incredible artists. So they may not work together well. So that was like the most fun process, was thinking, what if we put him with her or her with her? It was just like, and we went back and forth about brainstorming about that in a way that was really fun, and we were very honest with each other. We were able to be honest in addition to being supportive. So it was kind of a lot of brainstorming over many meetings. Yeah.
Were there any huge surprises? Were there any pieces that clicked in ways, not qualitatively, or not quantitatively, but qualitatively, just totally differently than you could have imagined, or what you suspected that group would do?
I didn't really have any expectations, or specific ones. More just like a faith in the people and the reasons why we were putting them together. But that made it just such a joy to kind of discover. I mean, as the projects came in and viewing them and seeing how they turned out. It was just really a special process to be part of.
To this along these lines?
Kyle, you cut out there. I couldn't hear you.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm just curious if the other curators want to throw something in.
Yeah, I mean, for me, one specific one that stuck out to me was Charmaine's and Nappy Nina's. I think we all felt that was a wild card of a choice, and they really kind of, embraced it in a very special way that I think we all were surprised by, but also not surprised by. It's one of those things where, like, we expected something crazy, just because we had like I think with all the artists, we had like supreme trust in all of the artists and as visionaries, as creators. But that one, for me at least, was one that I expected it to be crazy, but it turned out to be even more killing than I thought.
What's really, really like rewarding about it is actually hearing them all talk after, and talk about the process that we didn't get to see and know about, but we kind of needed to instinctually figure that it would kind of be a good vibe, and that instinct, even though it's something that like that is weirdly one of the most important parts, I think, is just kind of we all just have to be like, yeah, like listening to their art and knowing them as people. I think that it'll vibe well, and or no, I really don't think this will vibe well, and I don't know. It's a subtle thing you can't put into words, but I think all the collaborations had that.
Always the dream that it's going to wind up greater than the sum of its parts, right? I mean, if one knows what Naqvi does and what Charmaine does, in a sense, it's like, well, yeah, those two things added together, and yet it was something distinctly other than a simple additive process. Erica, any standouts for you? Any reflections from this, or what's it been, the last year of your life now? 6 months, 4 months?
Well, what I enjoyed, I mean, I liked all of them really, but the dance element that was in two of the pieces, they were really beautiful and added a lot, I think, to the music. And I don't know, I feel like that collaboration went really well.
Kudos to you all for making connections beyond the music world as well. I mean, Metropolis is fundamentally a music ensemble, right? But a music ensemble committed to artwork, capital A, right?
Well, I think that a lot of the artists that I love to work with, they draw their inspiration from the world around them, and including other creators in other fields. So we just left it very open to people, and like Emmanuel said, we trusted them to do something and to surprise us and to take chances. I think that after the shutdown in March, a lot of people were releasing their own content, but it wasn't very collaborative. So we wanted to say, hey, let's try to catalyze collaborations with people that might would have always wanted to work together. Like, it was so touching to see Ambrose and Wadada do something together, but it was also touching to just have two strangers really be introduced to be match made, so to speak, and to see what would come out of that as an experiment. My goal and our goal, I think, is to just hopefully come out of this pandemic and this time we're in right now with new friends and more collaborators. And it's this process of just making work that we must continue it no matter what, even if it's in a box. A concert hall is a box as well. So let's see what we can do with it. And this is a good first try for us, I think.
Absolutely. All these incredibly creative people nodding at each other across a crowded internet saying, hey, as soon as we get out, we're gonna pick this up. We're gonna pick up this thread. It's beautiful. Thank you all for making this astounding thing happen. Kudos. Thank you for inviting me to be part of it. And to everyone still hanging on late at night, thank you for being part of this adventure. Metropolis Ensemble in partnership with Le Poisson Rouge and House of Yes. Anyone else we need to thank? I mean, I'm sure they're all over the website. Have we missed any dotted I's or crossed T's for the evening?
I would love to thank our trustees of Metropolis Ensemble. We are a nonprofit organization, and we are sticking together during this pandemic, which is amazing. And we are inspiring many musicians and composers by making all this work. So thank you. And I'd also like to thank the New York Community Trust for banding together with lots of other foundations to really pinch hit for many, many arts organizations in the New York City area.
And stay tuned, everyone. They've got more up their sleeves, okay? metropolisensemble.org. There are projects galore afoot. Thank you all. Be safe. Take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. and vote. Haven't already.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.